I'm asking you to identify yourself so I can let my dispatcher know who I'm out with. If you don't identify yourself, that is obstruction.
What crime did I commit?
There's no crime, but I'm identifying you. Okay.
Turn around. Because I didn't do anything. Okay, turn around.
I'm cool with this. Okay, I mean, I'm cool with letting him go. He just didn't understand.
He's in handcuffs.
And he's being a jerk.
He obstructed. He refused to identify himself. I'm not going to sit out here and argue with somebody for an hour the legalities of it. You can come to court.
Okay.
Well, no, that's fine. You can call for backup for any reason at all.
He was upset, rightfully so. It was not... Why are they assholes? Like, was that necessary?
Was that necessary? Well, I guess that depends on who you ask at the end of this video. Police officers often drive in a reckless manner to catch other vehicles for mostly minor violations to generate revenue. This driving behavior puts other motorists at risk for potential traffic collisions, in which Mr. Kern claimed almost happened to him on September 22, 2022. Mr. Kern was traveling behind a silver Infiniti when a patrol vehicle driven by Officer Lewis squeezed in the middle, almost causing a chain reaction. Luckily, none of the parties sustained any damages. Mr. Kern, who was rightfully upset, wanted to talk to Officer Lewis about her driving behavior. He pulls over and parks several feet behind the patrol vehicle, and this is where the video begins.
1 second.
Go back.
81 radio, stand by. It's going to be on Mayfield across from the first access road. Send me another unit because another party does not know how to yield to lights and sirens, and he's sitting here reporting me. Say they almost ran him off the road.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Officer Lewis with Cleveland Heights. The reason I'm for the traffic stop is the plates on the vehicle are expired.
Yeah,
not even a big deal. Do you know that guy behind me in the Porsche?
I was trying to hurry up and move over.
You're good. No, you're good. You did the right thing. I'm put my lights out and sirens. He did not move over.
Officer Lewis admits the stop wasn't a big deal. The tags were expired, and a gentleman advised the officer that he just bought the vehicle from a family member and received the title yesterday. But this was just a pretext, when in actuality the vehicle was of interest pertaining to an incident that happened prior. It's important to note that once Officer Lewis informed Mr. Kern that she would be with him in a moment, he waited off to the side on the sidewalk. Mr. Kern did not interfere with the stop, nor did he say anything to Officer Lewis while her attention was on the driver she pulled over.
And I'll give you the plate to the other vehicle that's out with the confrontation. I apologize.
You almost ran me off the road.
I initiated my lights and sirens.
I didn't hear anything.
What, was your music on? Because I had the lights and sirens on, sir.
Yes, sir.
You apologize.
I apologize.
You're wrong.
He stopped abruptly. Okay, I'm not wrong. The lights and sirens were activated.
You ran me off the road.
I did not do that, sir. The lights and sirens on my marked patrol because he stopped abruptly, causing me to stop abruptly, causing you to stop abruptly.
Right.
And I apologize for that. However, the lights and sirens were on. Okay, the police vehicle is marked. You can clearly see it's a marked patrol vehicle. I initiated lights and sirens. I'm not going to argue, and I'm telling you I do. I'm going to tell you I do apologize that he did stop abruptly. Nobody was wrong.
I'm going to tell you the disconnect, right? So between the public and you as a public servant,
you're just that driver check, okay?
If there's something wrong and you actually did it, all you say, my bad, I'm sorry,
I did. I just said,
keep going.
I said my bad. I said I activated a I initiated a traffic stop in a marked vehicle with lights and sirens.
Right.
If you didn't hear the sirens or see the lights, I
mean, you called back up for your place.
Well, I called back up because somebody is getting out of a cop car.
While Officer Lewis walks over to Mr. Kern's vehicle and runs his tag information, Sergeant Wolf, who is the supervisor, briefly talks with Mr. Kern. Everything that Sergeant Wolf says is exactly what's wrong with law enforcement today.
I mean, you called back up for your safety, but...
Well, you don't pull up behind an officer on a traffic stop.
You don't even know what's going on.
You're right, I don't.
So why are you saying that?
Because I'm here, and what you're doing right now is against the law.
You ran me off the road.
Okay, well then you should have pulled over for lights and sirens. She said it on the radio that you didn't yield, and it's on dash cam, I'm assuming.
This the disconnect, man.
Sir,
I'll tell you what. Let her finish her business, and then we can sit down and talk like adults.
We're good. I'm gonna let him go. We're good. I'm gonna let him go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was your last name?
My last name?
Yeah.
Why do you need my last name?
Because I'm asking who I'm talking to. You asked me who you were talking to.
You're not going to be under arrest because what you're doing is illegal.
Listen.
What you're doing is illegal. I can charge you for interfering with
Just give me your last name.
Why?
Because I'm conducting business with you right now.
Or am I free to go?
You want to be.
10-4. That's
No,
not
that's
going to
not how
be
it
the
works.
driver.
What's your RS?
Stand by.
What's your reasonable articulable
Okay.
suspicion of my crime?
I'm going to get rid of him.
Hold on. I'll explain to you, okay?
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
If you want to be.
10-4. That's
No,
not
that's not how it works. What's your RS?
Stand by.
My RS?
Reasonable articulable
Okay.
suspicion of my
Okay.
crime.
Here,
I'm gonna get
first,
rid of
okay, hold on. I'll explain it to you, okay? Doing what you're doing right now.
No, sir. She almost ran me off the road.
Okay. Again, you didn't yield to lights and siren. You came out.
She was next to me and stopped and almost ran me off the fucking road. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
listen to me. You asked my reasonable articulable suspicion. It's not a
I'm
probable
not under
cause.
arrest. If you arrest me, you violate my rights.
I don't want to arrest you. We have to
You're
ID
going to
you.
violate my rights. That's what you're going to
Okay,
do?
we have to ID you. You understand that? Yes, we do.
All right, I'm going to videotape it.
Okay, we got you on camera
I'm
too.
going to call. They can come get the car. You're violating my rights.
Come getting. Who's getting what car?
They can come. You're going to arrest
Radio
me,
another
right?
car here. I got a male who's obstructing.
No, I'm not.
And he's refusing to identify himself.
No.
So I'll take a report on it, but I need your ID.
No.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with her.
Sergeant Wolf didn't know what was going on, made assumptions regarding interference and obstructing with no investigation, doesn't know the requirements for when a person needs to ID, and this sergeant is a supervisor. That is really setting a bar low. Ohio Revised Code 2921.29 states no person who is in a public place shall refuse to disclose a person's name, address, or date of birth when requested by a law enforcement officer who reasonably suspects either of the following. 1. The person is committing, has committed, or is about to commit a criminal offense. Mr. Kern was not a witness to any felony crime, so Section 2 does not apply. However, both Sergeant Wolf and Officer Lewis intimidates Mr. Kern for his information.
Listen, talk to me. Just do me a favor. All I'm asking you,
I'm a private citizen.
just take your hands out of your pocket while we're talking,
Right.
okay? I called for backup, all right?
Yeah.
I initiated a traffic stop. I understand you and I and that gentleman, we all just saw what happened, okay?
Right.
I'm calling for another person because I'm dealing with one person who I don't know who I'm dealing with.
I'm not
And you
expecting.
get out, listen, sir, let me speak. Let me explain to you.
Just a brand new
I call for another person because I have a man getting out of a car walking towards me. You know how society is. I know how society
Open the
is.
door.
Now listen,
Right.
I'm asking you to identify yourself so I can let my dispatcher know who I'm out with. If you don't identify yourself, that is obstruction. You are the one that came
Obstruction
out.
is a secondary crime.
It's
What crime did I commit?
There's no crime, but I'm
So there's no crime, I
I'm
don't need to
identifying you. Okay.
Thank you.
I need your driver license.
Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to arrest you if you don't identify yourself.
She just said it was no crime.
It is
Listen.
a crime. Obstructing is a
What
crime.
crime?
Obstructing is a crime.
Identify yourself, class.
She almost ran me off the road.
And then I still have to identify you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna call in for your car. You can arrest me
Okay, turn around. Put that gun back.
because I didn't do anything.
Okay, turn around. Turn around.
I didn't do anything.
Listen, just all you have to do
I
is
don't have my ID with me.
Okay, what's your cell?
Your date of birth, that's all we asked for.
For what?
Because I need to let my dispatcher know. It's not a big deal.
Mr. Kern provides his information even though he was not legally required to do so.
What's your last name,
What's
sir?
you, Kern, man?
Kern?
You know what happened. Why are you letting him do this?
He's a sergeant.
He's violating my rights.
He is not. You
Come here, have a
didn't
seat. We're going to give you
identify
a ticket when we
yourself.
send you on your way. You have a valid driver's license?
Yeah, I do. You violate my rights, man.
Yeah, well, you're going to get a ticket for interfering with the traffic.
How did I interfere? She almost ran me off the fucking road.
And you could have pulled off and waited and called.
I did wait when she said wait.
You were out here talking to her. Have a seat.
Mr. Kern, just
Don't push me, man.
Have a seat.
Why are you so full of machismo, man?
Dude, have a seat. I'm not putting up with your bullshit, okay? Have a seat.
What's wrong with you, man?
Have a
I'm
seat.
sitting down.
All the way in.
if he
He's going for
checks,
obstructing. Or he's getting a
you're
ticket for
gonna.
obstructing. Is he valid?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the radio to say. What? So this is what happened. That vehicle matched the description of the vehicle from Weird Shit yesterday.
Okay.
I saw it. I initiated a traffic stop.
Okay.
That person, instead of like pulling over, he stopped abruptly.
Okay.
And I'm getting behind him, but he stopped abruptly.
Okay.
This guy was very close to him,
Okay.
and we almost did get into an accident
Okay.
because that driver stopped so
You had your lights
abruptly.
and siren on.
I did, yes.
Gets a ticket for
He,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this.
okay.
He's getting a ticket for
Radio 1, if you need to read back on that, yes, I have it.
emergency vehicle.
Yes, radio, I do. That's why I provided
It
it.
was to a Demetrius Raphael Kern. It's a 37-year-old male. He's valid. That's one.
So he gets a ticket and then he can come to
It,
court.
listen, I don't feel like I need to give him a ticket for that. I'm
Well,
cool with
then he
just.
goes for obstructing.
Okay,
He's
I
gonna
mean,
get
I'm
for
cool with
obstructing.
letting him go.
Like,
He just,
can't.
I didn't understand.
He's in handcuffs.
And he's being a jerk.
He obstructed. He refused to identify himself. I'm not going to sit out here
Okay.
and argue with somebody for an hour the legalities of it. You can come to court.
Okay.
So he gets a ticket for obstructing failure to identify himself.
You guys got a
Mr.
lawsuit
Kern,
coming.
just hang on. Just
You got a lawsuit coming.
Listen, let me explain to you. You don't get out of the car yet. The sergeant wants me to give you a ticket for obstruction, okay? I'm not going to do anything else. Listen, he's the boss. He is the boss.
I don't have to refuse if I didn't commit a crime. This isn't a stop and ID state.
At this point, it is a traffic stop because you're out on a
almost ran
traffic
me off
stop.
the road.
Mr. Kern, we just had that conversation. I did not almost run you off the road.
That Tesla has cameras in it. So
Okay.
you guys are going to pay for this.
That's fine.
Officer Lewis changes her story multiple times regarding what happened on the road. Unfortunately, Mr. Kern could not provide me with any video from his Tesla, citing the feature wasn't active at the time. I believe Officer Lewis realized her mistake and wanted to correct it, but the supervisor insisted to move forward with the obstruction charge since he was already in handcuffs.
Mr. Kern, I apologize. I really do. And this is on body cam, alright? This is, the sergeant's telling me to do this, so...
Did I break the law?
When police have to identify you, you do have to identify yourself.
I broke the law. If I broke the law, I have to identify.
Mr. Kern, you got out of the vehicle in the middle of a traffic stop.
Got hit.
I understand that. And I needed to identify you.
This is going to be a heavy lawsuit. Cleveland Heights is going to pay me for this.
For what, sir?
Kidnapping, illegal detainment.
No one's kidnapping
I'm in the
you.
back of your car in handcuffs.
Okay.
I'm kidnapped.
This is not kidnapping. The sergeant placed you under arrest for obstruction.
How did I? You know, like I know, I didn't obstruct.
He asked for your information and you didn't give it to him. Listen, I'm gonna be. There will be a court date. You and I will both go to it. And our prosecutor's really good and we'll work through it, okay? Listen, I'm just doing what I'm told to do, alright? What do I put for this verbiage? When asked to identify himself, he refused.
So, just for my own, you activated your overhead.
So we're literally here, and I'm coming up because I saw that car. It looked like a car from yesterday's incident.
Yeah.
I ran it. It's expired. I am in this lane. I put my lights on to activate. The guy, instead of like continuing, he like whips over, stops abruptly, and I'm like halfway in between both lanes, and this guy was right behind him. Okay. So it did almost cause an accident.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You didn't almost hit them.
No, I was trying to go behind. It would have been a sure clear distance accident. Right. But because of how that guy stopped abruptly, it would have been.
And he stopped and decided to get out of
well, and he was pissed because we did almost get into an accident. You
didn't almost hit him.
No, all of three of us, it would have been an accident. Yeah, I was going behind the other guy.
He could have gone down the street.
But the guy stopped abruptly, but he did. Then he got out and he's yelling. He's yelling while I'm initiating. Right. Okay. So I told him, I said, sir, just stand there. Let me talk to him. I'll come talk to you. And he did. But then he was continuous, because that happened, I called for backup. And then he was upset, rightfully so. It was whatever. Why are they assholes? Was that necessary? Alright, here's your property.
Hold on, let me get this here.
Sure.
Hey, what's pushing on? What kind of cuffs are these, man?
Some janky, rusty ass stuff. Do you want to sign or are you going to refuse? Alright, I'm going to give you a copy of it.
You guys violated my rights. You know.
Well, we'll all be in court.
Mr. Kern was charged with obstruction, and 11 days later, the prosecutor filed a motion to dismiss the case, citing lack of evidence, in which the judge granted the dismissal.
You're probably the only good cop on the force.
I'm not trying to be a bad cop. I was literally not trying to even have any of this happen, and I did apologize.
You apologize, but you're following his directives.
He's a sergeant.
Yeah, but still, like you swore oath to the Constitution.
Right.
And you know what's right and wrong. And sometimes you got to stand up to people.
Listen,
No.
When asked for your information, you have to
didn't commit a
identify
crime.
yourself. At this point, we're on a traffic stop together
But you
now.
still have to
A traffic stop is not a crime.
And I asked him, am I being detained? And
Okay.
nobody answered that.
Listen,
So I covered all my bases.
all the stuff's going to be typed in the report.
If I
all
was
right?
being detained, I had no choice but to give you my ID. That's why I specifically asked.
Yeah.
Am I being detained?
Well, at that point,
And
it's
if
a
I'm
traffic stop.
But still, if I'm being detained, you should tell me. And if I'm not being detained,
Yeah.
I'm free to go. And
Right.
it's in a situation
Well,
where I
right
have-
now, you're free to go.
Yeah. so-
All right? I hope that you feel better, and I'm sorry that all of this had to happen this way.
You didn't do nothing.
Well, we did. We got into a little accident, almost a middle
You
accident.
did your job.
And I apologize.
Things happen in life. He came, he violated my rights.
Well, we're going to work through it, all right? I don't think he violated your rights. He wanted you to identify yourself, and you didn't. All right?
You know you swore oath.
Say again.
You swore oath.
I did.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right, Mr. Kern.
Thank you.
I hope that you feel better, all
I'm
right?
going to the hospital.
All right. You going to go to Metro?
I'm going right there.
Yes, sir.